was fun.
I loved, it turned in from, look at all the questions I had.
Yeah, where are those questions? You didn't answer.
Not one of them. Because that's the whole thing. I want to have something in case, just to get my mind stimulated. But this is what I do it for. It's just to stimulate a conversation. And look, it turned into, something better. We still got the message. How'd you feel about it? I got you to cry.
Great.
You make everybody cry, and I got you to cry. Yeah, wimp. Your daughters are heartfelt. How'd you feel?
Great. Yeah. Anytime anybody asks about Sophia, and by the way, that's like one of people's favorite topics. Like the second, nobody ever asks me about my partnership with John Paul DeJoria. Nobody asks me about. They don't ask about that. Tell me about Sophia.
That's what I love when they say, tell me about your boys. Yeah. Tell me about, that's so much nicer than tell me about business. No, I fucking worked all day. I don't want to talk business anymore. I want to talk pizza.
That's how Sophia is. That's the other thing is she'll talk. Oh, they said, don't think that she's going to talk to you after school. Like, because, she gets in the car, what happened today? Sophia, what happened at school today? I'm paying for expensive tuition. I want to know what you learned. And she's like, Winn, how do you feel at the end of the workday? You're done. You don't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to talk about it. It's so funny.
I love it. I can't wait. I wish you would have brought her along. I'm just watching her grow, and you watched my boys grow, and now we're all going to see the next girl
Some of the best pictures I have of Sophia are like playing right here with Stefano and Giulio out in the front driveway, right? Remember those? Those are still like marked as some of my favorite pictures that I tag on my phone. Out here playing around with her on the jet ski with you. Oh my gosh, those are some of the best experiences.
Well, even before that, I got pictures when you were, because we had tattoos, right? Mm-hmm. You had a tattoo on you, and Stefano. You're still like the elementary school. You were sitting at the kitchen table. You had a Sharpie, and you were drawing tattoos on his arm because he wanted the same tattoo as you.
I know. So he was drawing, and then he was drawing the piercings on him too. So it's like, remember that? I had a piercing, and so he drew the piercings on his nipple and everything. Oh gosh,
that was so funny. And between you and I, how many parents would freak out? It's like, come on, let them be kids. Mm-hmm. When I'm with Sophia, how do I act?
Like you're in trouble with me all the time.
Because I'm acting like a kid.
I know.
And I'm talking farting jokes and pooping jokes, and her and I are going back and forth, and you're like, excuse me.
She still has that stupid fart machine that you gave her, that little thing. Oh my God, I hide it, and she finds it. I'm like, Uncle Giulio, why?
But now you get to torture mine. So, but
I bought a drum set. It's being delivered next week.
I know. I was bad at that too.
Yes,
getting everybody drum sets.
Right.
But you know what? I'm a kid when I'm around kids. I don't want to grow up.
No.
I don't want to grow up. I want to be a kid forever. I think it keeps you useful. Look at when you had Sophia, you were an asshole. Let's face it. Well, I was an asshole. We all have that moment. But the moment you had Sophia, man, your heart just became butter. Yeah. You became butter. You got rid of I remember the fan club that used to be around your ass.
Yeah.
They were toxic.
My circle went from this to this. I did a posting. George and I celebrated 20 years being together last week. Yeah,
congratulations.
I know, and that was the message in my posting about it. That everything in my life is difficult. Going to the gym is difficult. Staying sober every single day, it is a challenge. It's difficult.
Once an addict, always an addict.
Exactly. Running a company nowadays with a strong, beautiful culture, with all the naysayers out there that are like, really, we're your enemy? We're the good guys. We're the good guys. We're doing good things, and yet we're being attacked. That's difficult. You know what else is difficult? Being married. Being married is a lot of hard work, and what do they say? The secret to a long marriage: don't divorce. Nowadays, everybody divorces over anything and everything. Guess what? I'm canning your ass because there's somebody prettier and younger and richer and faster right around the corner. And you know what? They always are. There's always somebody better around the corner.
I'm guilty of divorce, but you know what? I exhausted every avenue before I hit that avenue.
Right.
So. Yes, there are times, but at least as long as you put the best foot forward and do what you can to save it, some people just can't. It's not that they didn't put it takes two to put that effort
Yeah.
forward. So in your marriage, why has it been successful is you both put that work in.
And we're committed.
And you're
it can
committed.
get ugly.
Oh, it can get ugly.
But
marriage is not.
But we
people are like,
recommit. We actually we were just watching the movie. You know how they lived happily ever after.
Yeah.
And that was the end of the movie. It said, and they lived happily ever after. They said, no, they didn't. Marriage is hard work, but they're still together. Like that was the tagline. Yeah. Like it was funny, and it's so true.
Do you ever meet
that's
that
what
perfect
it takes.
couple? You know that perfect. You're like, oh, they got the perfect. No, they got the worst marriage. I love the couple that give it to each other out in public because you know
God.
what? You know that's
you're
the
Italian.
healthiest.
You're
well,
Italian.
no, I'll tell you what. When a couple can dish it out to each other, they're not holding in until they explode.
Right.
They're letting it out so that they can connect. But when you hold it in, and then one day you burn the toast and they beat you over the head with the toaster, it wasn't because you burnt the toast.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
Oh.
Burns me.
Well, back to the original part of that, and that's why my circle shrunk, because what happened was
my hemorrhoids.
The second that there was difficulty in my marriage, there were certain people in my life that are like divorce, and so I had to shrink my circle down, and that's what I said in my posting. I shrunk my circle to be around only those people who support the love and the commitment that we have. Because there's a lot of people that would rather you be single. They would rather there are people who would rather
they're not happy.
They would rather you not be sober. You know, when I said I'm not going to drink anymore, I had good friends that were angry at me. Literally angry.
I know what you're
like,
saying.
what do you mean? Oh, now we can't drink around you. You're not going to be fun anymore. Like people were angry that I was not. I'll tell you. I can't really think of too many people who, when I made the announcement that I'm no longer going to drink alcohol, I can't really think of too many people who said, you know what, Winn, good for you. Most people were like, oh, court ordered? like DUI? Like they assumed that there was some backstory, like there was something, an ugly story that I wasn't telling.
They usually kill people.
Which, by the way, there wasn't. There was no DUI. There was no being found naked on the side of the road. You know what I mean? It was none of those things. It was just like, you know what? I don't think I want to drink alcohol anymore. Now, I stopped drugs 21 years ago, alcohol 6 years ago. And don't send me any emails like, well, true sobriety means you give up. Whatever.
Oh, we're off camera. This is the Italian extended goodbye.
No, so I
mean, we're on, but we're the extended. We're just shooting the shit, you and I. No, it's when I stopped doing drugs myself, I decided to stop drinking. You know me, I don't drink. Once in a blue moon, I'll have a mojito. That's about the only thing. I want control of my body. But it's funny. You're right. When I stopped it, people thought they couldn't have fun with me. Only one person turned to me and said, I like you better when you're not doing drugs. You're funnier, you got a better personality, and that was my dealer. I'm not kidding you. That was my dealer. He said, you are a much better person when you're not doing drugs. I'm like, are you looking for business or you're trying to lose business? You know, like he's like, no, I love you. I got to be honest with you.
Wow.
And that was out of all the friends that dismissed me, hated me, went away. My circle has shrunk too. You know that. Mm-hmm. Both of ours have. We've seen a lot of people that we had to let go of, and we walked away from because it was healthier for us.
Yeah, it's not an attack on them.
No,
it's not like you're a horrible person. Get out of my life.
I still like you. I love you, but I don't.
Exactly.
I'm gonna miss you.
Right. Right. You know how I like to say it is, you love yourself enough to stay away. So in other words, you want me to divorce my spouse. So what you're saying is you want my daughter to grow up in 2 different homes. Like, come on. How about believing in us? How about believing, come on, I know this is a rough patch. What do you need? You know, what does George need? I'm going to call George. Is that okay? You know, but we come back together committed.
You know, George can call me anytime he wants, and he has.
Yeah.
You call me all the time. I call you, and because you even wrote that in there about having a bitch buddy. That was one of my questions. Explain the bitch buddy. You know, but that made such a big difference, because when you do have a bitch buddy, it's got to be that person, and that's hard to find, that you can unleash on, and you know it's going to go nowhere.
Right.
How difficult is it to find people like that? You know, you and I, we know we can bitch to each other, and it's. I'm not going to tell your secret. You're not going to tell mine.
I maybe have 3 people. You're one of them.
Yeah.
So it's not, I have 20 people. No, I don't. Because some people, it's too much for them to hear. So you know, some friends that you have, it's like, you know, it's a great friendship, but it's not healthy for them to go there with you. So it's, maybe people say, well, that's not a true friendship. No, it is a true friendship. But I know that it's not proper for me to unburden what I'm going through onto them.
Right.
Okay, they do with me, and they can with me, and that's okay. But perhaps this doesn't go both ways, and that's okay. That's okay. But I do have 1 or 2 or 3 people that I can do that with, and I know that they're not going to judge me later. I know that they're not going to divulge the information. I don't have to preface it every time. Now, don't tell anybody, because that's just a given, because we've been together for a very, very long time. But I think that people are thinking that it has to be a large circle, and it doesn't. It's a small. And I've heard, I read something, you and I quoting, good luck.
Right.
I think it was like
Even
like
writing a
a
book.
Thomas Jefferson person who said you should not have a large circle.
Yeah.
That the person who has a large circle doesn't have really too many friends.
Yeah.
You need to have a very, very, very small circle.
You know what makes me laugh?
What?
We don't read, but yet we wrote books.
I know. Yeah.
How funny is that? But we did it for us. We didn't. We shared the message, but first and foremost, we did it for us.
Right.
And talking about our friendship, like I said, you and I, whatever I say to you, if I said it behind your back, I didn't, because I said it to you already.
Right, yeah.
So I'd never speak behind your back. And I was talking to the kids the other night before you flew in, when Kathy and I went there. And I was telling them, I said, if somebody's gossiping about somebody else that is not your bitch buddy, or like you and I, it's just somebody random, you don't think they're talking about you the same way as somebody else?
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah.
And they were all like, oh yeah.
I know.
So I know I can tell if I say, I told you to keep it confidential when Ashley was pregnant.
Yeah.
Because, that was the first 3 months. We want to make sure, because we had a couple of miscarriages.
Right.
You were great about that.
We didn't tell anybody.
You were so excited. I know you were busting at the seams. You wanted to tell
Kathy was
everybody.
mad at me, like, why did you tell me? I showed up and she's pregnant.
6 months!
So why didn't you tell me? I said, it wasn't my news to share. So we didn't tell anybody.
It's funny, she bawled her eyes out. I said,
sure.
well,
I'm
when
sure.
you see her, you'll see she's got a belly. She's 6 months pregnant. She didn't know. I thought you told her.
No.
She started bawling. I'm like, what are you crying about? You didn't do it. I go, it's my fault.
That's funny.
And I got her to laugh, but she was
You didn't
like,
do it, the doctor did it.
Yeah, exactly. When I find the bastard, I used to tell people, my wife's at home big and pregnant. I should be there. And she's like, I hope that our child has the same sense of humor as you do, as we do, and the people in our lives. I hope she learns from them all, because I've got great family, and I point this way because Glenn's right there, my son's right there, you're right there. I got a great circle of people that I know she will be influenced right, and God forbid something that should ever happen to me, I know she's surrounded with the best.
Right.
Not with the people who wanted to come because they thought I had a lot of money, or because they thought I had the candy when I had the addiction. I mean, that's the only reason they came around, that. How many people, oh, Winn, you own businesses? Oh, my friend.
That's one of my favorite Oprah quotes. She says, everybody wants to ride in the limousine with you. It's those who will take the bus when the limousine breaks down. Those are your friends.
Or willing to pick you up. They all want something from you, but ask them for a ride.
Yeah.
I never asked people for money. I never asked for a handout. I've asked for help. We all should ask for help. We all need help. But not because you were rich, you're not rich. It didn't matter who you were. Like, I'll pay you back. You got $5. I need gas, But I've never been that type of person. I see it all the time. And you and I just kind of wink at each other, because I see it happen to you. I see it happen to John Paul. It happens to me. Especially as, you go from a multi-$100 business to a multi-million-dollar business to a multi-billion-dollar business, right? It's the bigger the money, the bigger the kiss on the ass. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, the lips get wider. And it's all because there's an agenda there. How are you? Hey, how's the family? How's your child? I love you. Not saying it while the hands out at the same time. What are you, a friggin' statue? So I love that we have that. I can't wait for you, Sophia, to meet Evangelina. I already met my other 2 boys. I can't wait for you to meet my new girl. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But you got to come see us because we can't travel for a while.
George and Sophia, we've already been talking about
Have
that.
you really?
Oh yeah, how and when are we going to get out there after this baby is born? Like how soon can we make that happen?
Give us a month, because
We
you
know.
know when I deliver that baby, I need to
Oh, God, here he
recover
goes
from
again.
the push.
You're 60 something. I'm 60 something. I'll say whatever the hell I want. Kind of laugh at ourselves. You can still laugh at yourself. How many times do I pick on you?
Right.
And then you pick on me. You're like, stop being so straight. I'm like, stop being so gay. You know, I used to chase you around like I was gay.
Right.
And you're like, stop it. You're embarrassing me. But we knew it was in good fun. I was not bullying you, mocking you. Did I ever stop loving you? You never stopped loving me, you know? So why can't people just, you know, kind of, I get where it could get a little hairy, but, you know, it's like, not from me, not from you, you know? And if people don't accept you, fuck them. You know, don't hang out with them. You know, they didn't accept Jesus and they still crucified him.
Right.
You know, but did he worry about the people that didn't like him? No, he focused on the people who loved him. And that's what I tell people all the time, even in our schools, and the kids love it. Because I'm like, accept who you are. Love who you are. You don't have to prove to me who you are. Just give me your name. I just want to know your name. That's all. And if you got somebody that doesn't like you because you're gay, transgender, binary, straight, whatever, you don't need them. You don't need to
Right.
prove anything to them. Keep going, because you got 100,000 other people who love you. That's what it's about. And you said it earlier. Hang out with the people, the bitch buddy, everything. Hang out with the people who love you, not with the people who don't. So what I post, I don't give a shit. Because at the end of the day, I want to hang out with people I love and love me. And even if you don't love me, guess what? I love you. I'm not gonna have dinner with you, but I love you. You know? So anyway, I love you.
I love you.